It's not easy. It's not easy. So let's start. Let's slowly go through them. I will try not to drift off too much because, yeah, reasons. Like always, there's 2 new dungeons. I actually watched a little bit of ESO Live and they seem to be looking pretty nice. Hey Austin, how you doing? Posted purple food. Okay, okay. They should separate PvE and PvP. So I can tell you the reason why they're not going to do that. It would be the most logical way probably. But basically, they have a team of 4 to 5 people working on that stuff. And it's already a lot of work to change all this shit, right? And if you would separate PvE from PvP, you would double the workload. And yeah, that's the reason why they don't do it. They don't have enough people. That's the only reason, honestly. There's nothing else. So 2 new dungeons, Moongrave Fane, Lair of Martial Lock. I will have guides ready for them like always. Somewhere here. I already have templates. But there's nothing in there yet, okay? Four-player dungeons. So apparently we don't get the skin. Unique achievement awards are available from completing. A memento and non-combat pet, titles and housing items. Kinda sucks. I thought it was nice that Depths of Malatar had a skin to get without like just do the clear the veteran. But I guess they took it out to put it in the Crown Store. Yeah. Devs went to Commander Keen. No. So guys, you have to see. SOS started out with Elder Scrolls Online, right? Developer team. Now, they also have a separate Commander Keen developer team, a complete new one. And they work on a 3rd game, which is unannounced yet. But these are all new players. They developers. They don't take away from like Elder Scrolls. These are 3 different teams. Crown Store team works 100 hours a week. No, that's not true. Probably 2 hours. Ognefka, do you still have your color changing? Ognefka made a nice picture. Honestly, let's not dive off. Each dungeon, so like always, you have new sets, right? And we will check them out on the PTS as well. Now there's no new skin apparently. So yeah, kind of sucks, but whatever. Hollow Fang first. Whenever you critically heal or critically damage target, spawn a ball of hemoglobin. This name at their location. After 2 seconds, the ball explodes, restoring 3.5k magic and applying minor vitality to you and your allies within 6 meters of the ball for 9 seconds. Yeah, it's not bad, but it again has a nice 9-second cooldown. There is no fucking... Well, it's a magic set, so... I don't really see people using this. It's not bad, but I'm sure there's better ones. $40 gems. Yeah, look. Ognefka made this. That's basically how the Crown Store team works. HTML slider. Color code. It's not easy working there. Anyway. Drozakar's Claw. This stamina set. For every bleed effect you have on an enemy, increase your weapon damage by 200 against them. This could actually potentially be very strong. Because there's a few bleeds you can apply. You have dual wield, you have the 2-ender bleed, you have carve, you have rending. They could technically stack a lot of bleeds. On the other hand, is it worth it? There might be better sets. Yeah, it's definitely not a bad set. And if you actually manage to stack bleeds, it could be a lot of weapon damage, right? What do you mean you have number 1? Aha. Hey, Vana. They could at least separate the synergy from shards and orbs again. Yeah. You're probably the first one that cheered because I wasn't online for like 8 days. Anyways. So yeah, this one looks nice. Definitely worth to farm. On the other hand, they did some weird shit with bleeds, which is... But yeah, we will get into that later. Whenever you deal direct damage, gain a stack of resolve for 10 seconds. Each stack increases your healing taken by 1% and your physical and spell resistance by 420. You can only gain 1 stack of resolve every 1 second. 8 stacks. Each stack... I mean, I don't see this being used. There is just better sets. Monster Mask. Grundwolf. Whenever you deal critical damage, restore 1000 magic or stamina, whichever maximum is higher. You also gain 500 of the other resource. This sounds like a tank set, but it makes... You don't really... Like, it's a damage dealer set, but why the fuck would you use this? You could just use bubbles, right? Maybe not. Hey, Mel. It procs very often? Well, yeah, sure, it procs every 5 seconds. But I'm... maybe in PvP it might be worth it, right? But in PvE I don't see it being worth used over like Velidref or something like that. So in PvP, potentially it could definitely be good. Yeah, that's a good catch. Because you get 1k Magicka and 500 stamina. So that's actually quite a lot, eh? Good catch. Lee Templar with the cheers, thank you. We give a pirate skeleton. Yeah, you obviously have to make a trade-off, right? If you have shitty sustain, then this might be really good. But if you already have decent sustain, definitely better. Yeah, the crit bonus is also nice, but usually like either... Yeah, that's also something you could do because you have a spell and a weapon crit. You could combine it with another one-piece set, which also gives crit or weapon, like spell or weapon crit to stack them. But yeah, usually people prefer full monster sets. So it's definitely not bad, but I don't really feel excited by it. But definitely, like... On a Magicka setup, you get 1k Magicka and 500 stem. That's actually fairly strong. But yeah, we will see. Then in Martial you have your light attacks apply the Eye of Sen on enemies for 20 seconds. Enemies with the Eye of Sen take an additional 2% more damage for each damage over time effect you have placed on them. Up to 10%. Now, I am not sure... Someone told me this stacks. Like, what? I mean, not stacks, but one player can use the set on the enemy and it will work for the full group. So that would potentially be 10% overall more damage if it really works like that. Try TK... Yeah, I'm not sure if it works like that, but if it's a debuff on the enemy to increase the damage, then it might actually work like this. Because I remember martial knowledge is the same way. It's like... We will get to that later, but you apply like a debuff and the whole group will do 10% more damage. Which is way too strong in my opinion. Yeah. Azure Blight, when you deal damage, if a damage over time effect, you apply a stack of Blight Seed to your target for 5 seconds. At 20 stacks, the Blight Seeds explode, dealing 11,000 disease damage to the target and nearby enemies. An enemy that has reached 20 stacks cannot be infected with Blight Seed for 2 seconds. So this sounds like a lot of damage, but it also, like 20 stacks. Sure, if you're a stem DK with all the poison... no, what is it? Poison or disease? When you deal damage with a damage... Ah, whatever. Okay. When you deal damage with a damage over time effect. Okay. But still, 20 stacks... could be strong. I'm not sure. 11k is a lot of damage and you can buff that with other shit. Don't know. Just sucks when somebody purchases it. The Necromancer dot, yeah, I think it takes every 0.5 seconds or something. So with that, it's definitely stronger. But yeah, I mean, it's not gonna out DPS Relican, I think. I saw a parse. Not even getting close to it. So PV wise, it's useless. In PvP, sure, you could make a build with it, but yeah, there might be better sets. When you take damage from a melee attack, gain a corruption aura for 5 seconds, applies minor fracture and minor breach to all enemies near you, lowering their physical spell resistance. When you take from a... I mean, it's only 1.32k, yeah? It's not really a lot. But if you don't have any other way to apply fracture, minor fracture and breach, then why not? 11k damage doesn't sound that great. Yeah. I mean, you have to see if you have champion points, you can increase this value by quite a bit, actually, right? But yeah, it's definitely not the cherry on top of the ice cake. Compared to DPS nerfs, nah. DPS builds do about the same damage. There's not really any DPS nerfs. People just haven't tested things yet. Some classes even have higher DPS than previous patch. When you bash... Okay, this is now the monster mask. When you bash an enemy, you spew a cone of corruption, dealing 8,000 disease damage to enemies. This damage is increased by 5%. For each negative effect, the enemy have up to 150% additional damage. So this here is actually a lot of damage. Azure Blight isn't single target. I'm not sure. I would think it is, but I'm actually not sure. Would have to test. You need 30 negative effects for the full 150. Yeah. But still, you know, like... what was it? Viper also had an 8k tooltip, right? Viper had like 8k tooltip. So you apply a few more and then, yeah, it's just... And again, with champion points, it will go even higher. So it's definitely not a bad set. This here could be really nice, especially no CP, PvP and stuff like that. But yeah, it's 5% is not really a lot for debuffs, but yeah. Definitely worth to test out. You also have to see how the AoE damage or like the cone is. Like, does the enemy have time to move out of it, or is it instant damage and all that shit? It says it explodes to nearby... Oh yeah, damage to the target and nearby enemies. Yeah, it could actually be that it works on several enemies. Then would be nice. I mean, I'm not sure. It's still... On trash, Twice Fanged is still probably stronger because in penetration... Yeah, the set is not doing shit till it reaches all the stacks. That's the problem. I'm from Switzerland. Few new collectibles, whatever, new titles, nice, a new dice, sure, new furnishings. Willer and I also been working on a housing site, should be ready soon. All that stuff, now base game. So there's a few updates, multi-crafting, finally. This game is 5 years old and it still misses basic features. So finally we have multi-crafting. Now for PC, this is not the oh my god, finally, but for console, right? Console never had multi-craft add-on. Finally, it's in the game like it should have been since launch, in my opinion. Same with fucking inventory search and stuff like that, which is still missing. But anyway. So wait, on PC it's instant multi-craft, but not on console. How? I guess it should work. I think it would be cool to read the dev. Yeah. I'm staying here for now, Nox. It's better than the add-ons. Ah, okay, yeah.
Why you always bounce off?
No fucking way.
Yeah, it's true. Obviously, less add-ons you need, the better. I mean, stuff like this should be in the base game for a long time already, right? Azumal, the 11 months, thank you.
Fuck this.
So, yeah. I mean, I should sound excited or happy when I hear that this gets added, but to be honest, it's way too fucking late. It's nice that it's here now, finally, but still. Guild Trader multi-bidding, I'm not sure, I'm not really a trading guy, so I'm not sure why this is needed. You can now place bids on up to 10 different guild traders per week for your guild. Your guild has multiple winning bids. The bid with the highest gold amount is the one awarded. I guess that's fine, but I'm not sure if it really was needed. Now this here is a hefty one, on the key improvements. But they actually showed this on SO Live. You can now, because it's really, there is so much monster sets, it's kind of RNG what you buy, or like what you will get. And now here you can tune it down. So you can buy DLC chests instead of like just the free. So the chance that you get the right monster set is, or the monster shoulder is way higher, obviously. But I think one chest costs 5... Wait, do they actually say it? Yeah, so the Pledge Master also sell more specialized coffers at the cost of 5 keys each. Yeah, so it's basically, yeah, 50-50 chance, yeah. So it will be way better to use more keys. Because in the other chests, there is like... how many? 10, 15? It's just RNG sometimes. Ah, okay, Kevin. Yeah. So multi-craft will make instant. Okay. It doesn't have to... Yeah. That's good. 5 is kind of expensive for a 5th. Well, there is usually 2 monster sets per DLC, so you have a 50% chance to get the set you want. Sure, the traits are still RNG, but just transmute. Jewelry crafting master rate improvements. Neutral will mostly commonly request a superior piece of jewelry. Yeah. So this stuff, I'm not sure. It's probably still not worth doing, because jewelry craft... When Somerset launched, they made the shit so freaking rare. Compared to all other mats. Like, it's so expensive. So it's like, yeah, it's probably still too expensive to do them. But yeah. We will see. New color. Okay, here they actually changed a few sets. It's not the retro, so... What do you mean it's not retro? Oh yeah, I think the... Let's see. Didn't they say that the keys will now be in like the currency instead of The monthly Monster Shoulder style page will be available directly from the merchant for 50 keys each. Okay, so you have a way to get the shoulder even, or like the motive even if you missed it. They aren't applying the new Julie Ritty to all. Okay, okay, yeah. Ah, okay, so only the new ones. Yeah, I see. That sucks, huh? This change is not retroactive. Yeah, this is Ripperoni, pepperoni. Yeah, I'm not sure what they thought when they introduced jewelry crafting. They just wanted to make the shit more rare and other stuff, but it was way too much trouble to... Yeah. There's a few new outfits, costumes, runner armor, whatever. So, updated item sets. Phoenix! Old, when you die you instead become... So this year was like when you died, you didn't die, but you became a statue, right? Intentionally... Yeah. They intentionally made it more grindy. Because I thought... They probably thought people would have fun doing that. Keys and Geo. Oh, Geodes as well? Okay, that's nice. Mr. Jericho. Probably not. Major vulnerability is way too strong. You might see a little bit less of them, but I doubt it. So new. So the reason they do that or change this is because people used to or are still cheesing. Like no deaths. Like I remember when I did Scalecaller Peak, like this Mountain God achievement. Where you had to do hard mode, you couldn't die, speedrun, and all that shit. We just used Phoenix. First off, the fucking hard mode was buggy as hell when it launched. So in case shit went wrong, we just, okay, you know, it doesn't count as a death if you proc Phoenix, so you don't technically die. And now they finally removed it. Because I remember Lambert and Finn, they always got triggered when when we did something like that. There's also people that do like Immortal Redeemer TikTok with Phoenix, that just cheese through it. Now it's not gonna be possible anymore. So what does it do now? When you drop below 25 health, gain a damage shield that absorbs 10k damage for 6 seconds and deals 12.5k flame damage. Yeah. The 1 minute cooldowns though. Basically useless now. Knuckles, what do you mean? Oh, you mean the set? Yeah. Niche PvP. I mean, 12.5k is all the flame damage, right? But you drop really low on health. Sure, you get a 10k shield, but that's probably cut in half in PvP. So yeah. Way of martial knowledge. So this one is one of the OP ones. New, while your stamina is below 75%, your light attacks cause the enemy to take 10% additional damage for 4 seconds. Wait. Yeah. Somebody told me this works for the whole group. Similar to the other new set. So, I'm just drinking water. This is like a water bottle, glass bottle. So yeah, this seems to be... It doesn't have 100% uptime, right? But if 2 people wear it, easy. Probably not even have to. If a healer or a tank. So this set and the other set could be like 20% more damage if it stays that way. I have to ask the devs, because it's like they kind of want to address power creep, but this is not going to the right direction. And I haven't tested it myself. That's what I heard someone say, okay? So I'm not 100% sure. Elemental succession. Whenever you deal flame, shock, or frost damage, you gain 500 spell damage for that element for 4 seconds. This effect can occur every 8 seconds per element. You can have multiple different elemental buffs active. Okay, this is pretty cool, but it's like... I can just wear spell strategist and get permanent 500 spell damage. And if I want AoE damage, I will wear Mother Sorrow, so why the fuck would I waste my time if this is still useless? It's not a bad set, but it's also not good, right? Eventually, yeah. Yeah, basically. I'm not sure why they're like... They probably redo these things because these sets are underused. But it's like... Sure, you change it, but it's still shit. So it's still not gonna be used. But yeah, you can't have all sets being super good, so I guess it's fine. Overwhelming Surge. When you deal damage with a class ability, you have a 33% chance to surround yourself with a torrent that deals 1k shock damage to enemies within 12 meters of you every 1 second for 6 seconds. 15% of the damage you deal this way is restored to you as a magicka. So Overwhelming Surge is actually not bad, and I'm actually interested to see how this would turn out. With a torrent. What's a torrent? Is it like a cone? It's a circle? Ah, so okay. So this might actually not be bad, because you also get magicka back, right? And you can keep it up 100% basically. So it would definitely be worth testing. Similar to Hurricane. Yeah, okay, yeah. Yeah, on a Magpie this could be really strong. This, like, if you hit people, you need to hit people obviously. But 15% if you can hit multiple people, it could be nice. Trinimax Valor. When you cast a damage shield ability, you call down a fragment of Trinimax that heals you and your allies for 4k health. Damages enemies for 4k magic in a 5-meter radius. I mean, I guess... I don't know. Yeah, Overwhelming already has been good for PvP on certain setups, and it's still... I just wonder why they changed it, because it was used sometimes. But yeah, it's a nice change actually. It's nice, like, I could see myself use this. Medium Sense Bite. When you use roll dodge, increase your critical damage by 12%. That's actually not bad, huh? 12% for 8 seconds. So that's not bad, actually. It's really strong. There's nothing else. Yeah. So previously you gained a lot more weapon damage, but now it's just crit. But this is like a unique buff, right? So you could stack this on top of all the other shit. It's 12 meters, Overwhelming. Yeah, that's gonna be really strong. Battlegrounds and shit like that. Tank builds make use Sench. I doubt it. I mean, you also out of stealth you should get 100% crit chance anyway, I think. I mean, 12% is definitely not bad if you have a crit build. So yeah. Keen's Kiss. When you deal direct damage while 12 meters or further from your target, you have a 15% chance to heal for 100 health and restore 1k. Since it is no longer a melee only proc condition, the set will also drop in bows and staves. Kinda sounds weak, no? Roll dodge bash rotation? Yeah. I mean, 8 seconds is easy to keep up, right? So that's a lot of crit, obviously. Could be nice on a stem blade. I'm not sure. This doesn't really sound good. Especially for a 5-piece. Okay, Eternal Warrior got the same treatment. It doesn't transform into stone anymore. So tanks can cheese with this as well. Oh, I actually remember. We had... Yeah, in Scalecaller when we cleared it, I was wearing Eternal, Yokida and Phoenix. Because you don't need DPS anyway. Immortal Warrior. While your health is below 35%, gain major protection, reducing damage you take by 30%. Not bad, but usually you can get this from other sources. Major protection. 7th Legion. When you cast an ability that increases your physical or spell resistance, you gain 350 weapon damage and 350 health recovery. So yeah, this actually sounds really nice. Can basically... I think it's still a proc on you, right? So you can keep this up 100% of the time. Stack Vampire and Immortal Warrior. Yeah, that would definitely be an option. But yeah, you can get major protection from other resources sometimes. Is a martial knowledge set any good? It's my first time in Scalecaller. So next patch it will be really good if they don't change it again. Which set would proc first? You mean Eternal or Phoenix? Depends. So what I did in the last time, I actually full barred Phoenix and I front barred Eternal Yokida. So when I knew, like in Scalecaller, you had the poison cone, which was a little bit buggy, right? And sometimes you were out of it, still got hit. I weapon swapped to the back bar, so my Eternal Yokida doesn't proc. So only Phoenix procs. And then next time, I usually know when I'm about to die, I can be on the front bar and Yokida will proc. If you have both on the same bar, both will proc at the same time. Where the fuck was I? So yeah. Gonna be good. I'm not sure why they changed this. It's definitely more reliable now. And the health recovery is also nice. There's also a few new buff foods that give you health recovery. So potentially could stack a lot more health recovery. Veil Heritance. When you interrupt an enemy, you gain 500 weapon damage for 5 seconds. That's also strong. It seems they want to go away from low proc chance. Obviously, you need to interrupt the player, right? Or an enemy in general to make it proc. And that's not really that easy because, yeah. You need to fucking be able to interrupt him with something. That's the thing, right? Most abilities are direct damage, so... In PvE it's useless, in PvP... I don't really see that being used anymore. 500 weapon damage is nice, but it's never up, so it's like... RIP. Yeah, I think this set was good both for PvE and PvP, but now it's like... This is... RIP. Great Twitch. You're not wrong. But that's kind of a problem that other MMOs don't have, right? It's like, well, new expansion, okay, old gear is useless. In ESO, shit scales. And they all like, so it's like at some point, they can come up with new sets, but essentially it will always be the same shit to some extent, right? Ravager. Each time you attempt to reduce the target's physical or spell resistance, you gain a stack of Ravager for 5 seconds, increasing your weapon damage by 125. So you can get 4 stacks. I mean, did this really need changing? I actually liked Ravager like this more. Sure, if you are a puncture spam, then could be good, but other than that, I feel like this is worse than than this. Ravager and Night Mother's Gaze. Yeah, but it's only because it's only one debuff, it will only proc once, right? So that's only 125 damage. Unless you obviously hit multiple people, then sure, it probably will stack faster. Each time you attempt, yeah. I mean, if you can hit multiple people with it, then it might be strong. That is true. Would have to test. It's 5 seconds, and then at 4 stacks, the duration doubles. And once the duration is over, you have to start from 0 again, I guess. So it's definitely not bad. Would have to see. But I still think I like this more. Even if 8% was low. Little proc cult drops, yeah.
What did you do? He disconnected, he's gone.
Still have to waste another set just for the proc. Well, I mean, it depends. Like on a stem DK, you can use Noxious Breath, for example, which is like AoE cone. It would be really easy to apply that. Ruvan TV, thanks for the Prime sub. Subs, yeah, I have to check after the stream or tomorrow. Well, probably tomorrow. Oh, okay, you can gain a stack every 1 second. Yeah, okay, that's fucking rip. So you'd have to basically spam Noxious Breath. Yeah. Goodbye. This is definitely better than the new one. Maybe this was overused and Sauce thought time to fucking nerf it. I'm not sure. Obviously, if you have a stationary fight and you have huge AoE with cult drops or something, when it actually debuffs shit, then it could be worth it. But it's too situational. Like, you could just wear 7th Legion and get this shit. Because it's really easy to proc and keep up 100% of the time. Knuckles dual wield has like higher overall spell damage. That's the reason. Kevin! 25 bucks. Holy shit, dude. Thank you very much. That's a lot of money. The patch once again fails to address the real issue in this game. We need either a goblin polymorph or the goblin costume to work in Zero again. But the goblin one works in Battlegrounds, right? I know, that kind of stuff would be nice to have, but yeah, I don't know why that is still not a polymorph. Kinda weird. It works everywhere except Zero? Yeah, okay, I see. Yeah, I mean, the real issue with the game, it's the performance, obviously. But yeah, anyway, let's keep moving. New houses, cool. Furnishing, cool. Titles. There was also a few bugs with housing, right? Oh, wait a minute. 700? Wait, wasn't the previous maximum 600? We have a 1 orb emote, by the way. Yeah, cave mod. 700? I thought it was 600. Okay, then I was wrong. I was like, what? The reason why they don't increase the thing is because the game engine, like when you enter a room and you spam 700 small items in front of the door, that poor mofo will never get out of the loading screen because it has to render too much items. That's the reason why they don't increase it, because the game engine can't fucking handle it. Yeah, I'm not sure. Really, the Ravage change is weird, but whatever. Oh, this is like the prologue quest. Oh boy, okay. This is the big boy thing, huh? Brave Home basically looks like Vault of Madness. Okay, that's cool. I actually like Vault of Madness. Skill lines for alternate characters. Baby, bring out your money. Get your wallet ready. Throw it at the display. There we go. Fully completing a skill line on one character now unlocks the ability to purchase that achievement and skill line on other characters. Once unlocked on your current character, the chosen skill line immediately advances to its maximum rank. All abilities contained within the purchased skill line arrive unranked, allowing you to advance and morph the skills as you see fit. Please note, you must log in to each character on your account to register your achievements. Once you have logged into each character, Alcast will be blah blah blah. This new Crown Store offering is located under Upgrades, skill lines in the Crown Store. Currently, the following skill lines are planned to be available with update 23: Alliance War, Dark Brotherhood, Thieves Guild, Fighters Guild, Ledger Demand, Mage Guild, Undaunted. Note, Suchigor, Soul Magic, Vampire, and Werewolf skill lines will become available in a future update. Hey, why not place the full fucking game behind the Crown Store, right? So, what's your opinion on this, guys? It's like a hate-love relationship. Rockilla with the 17 months. Thank you very much.
Fuck this shit.
I personally dislike it because I can see some people like, oh, I don't want to do Undaunted, so let's just fucking do it. But it's like, you want to play, like, what you do if you just level up your character, like, you don't have anything to do afterwards. Sure, it's not pay to win, but it's like pay to convenience. And my problem with it is that Suchigorder is really fucking grindy, right? So what they're going to do is, like, instead of actually thinking on how to make the game fun, they're like, okay, so we are going to work on a new feature. How can we monetize it? That's the first thing they're going to think of before actually trying to be creative. And what will we end up with? Shitty skill lines like Suchigorder, where you have to grind your brain out. That's fucking retarded, and that's why I don't like this. So they see opportunity here, like, yeah, sure, it's not pay to win, but it's like, okay, so all new skill lines we will see will be really grindy, just so they can put it into the store later and make money off it. Kinda sucks, in my opinion. Yeah, it encourages them to make grindy stuff, right? It's like, oh, okay, how can we put this behind the Crown Store? Before even thinking of how can we make this fun. That fucking sucks. I hear this a lot of magic. I will go play WoW Classic when it releases, but just casually. Will be fun to see people's reaction. So yeah, like all new features, always Crown Store. A new player that joins the game. Before you're even allowed to move one fucking step, you get this big ass notification like, hey, buy stuff from the Crown Store. It's just like, what the fuck? And sure, technically it's not paid to win. It's paid to, like, not play the game, paid to convenience. But it's like a new player. Like, what impression does he get when he gets stuffed all this shit down his throat? He's like, oh, fuck this, I'm out. Oh, JT Skizzle, they, after Morrowind, I think they broke even, pretty sure. Is it also 5 people? I'm not sure. On the Crown Store? I'm not sure how much crowns this will be, but yeah. Your wallet will not be happy. What's a good DPS? You mean on the dummy? 30k? With 300 CP? Should be doable. How many crowns to get out of combat? Yeah. It's just, you know... For me personally, most outfits and mounts they bring out, they just copy pastas. Look at this. Huh? It's like... Look at how much hard work it is to change the color. Audit made this in like 2 seconds. Maybe 5, I don't know. Like, it's really hard working in the Crown Store team. Sliding the HDM slider up and down, you know? So you can place a new price tag on it. The HDM color slider. 1 min? Yeah. And there's no new fucking models. It's like, I stopped buying shit. Because there's nothing new interesting. But now they found another way to monetize it, so the guys that previously were working on new outfits and shit probably had to do this now. That's why we just saw old shit. Yeah, I'm getting 31k and 21 mil. Yeah. You definitely can go higher, but 30k is not bad for a start. Seriously, things like that were requested. I know some people want it. I'm just saying it's not the right way to go, in my opinion. Because, first off, you could unlock this account-wide. Problem solved, right? Or have a fucking library or a shrine or some sort of, once you completed it, in your home. And you go to that shit with a new character and you will get the skill line. But no. Huh? No, now you have to pay for it. So you see, there is other ways to go on about this. It's not only on Crown Store. You could do other... Same with like lore books or sky shards. You could put all the shitty sky shards or lore books into your home. And then people can pick them up easy. Or like with a new character. But no. You have to pay. The free Fisher outfit in the daily things look better than the Crown Store stuff. Yeah. Yo, Gnefka. Nice. Yeah, as a new player, guys, you just need to get your light attack ratio up. It should be around 0.8, 0.85, right? You can use gold to crown purchase. Yeah, sure, that also works. Yeah, I mean, even though the game most of the times doesn't work in endgame, I still would purchase stuff from the Crown Store if it's actually, like, if the costumes look good, I would. But, like, in the first 2 years, I bought way more costumes compared to now, because it's either just the same reskins or it just looks ugly as fuck. Anyway, so yeah, I don't like this. It's fucking dumb. Could have been ways to put this into the game without monetizing it. And as a new player, this looks straight up paid to win, obviously. They don't know what these skill lines can do and shit like that. So it's like, yeah, get fucked. But anyway, even mounts look paid to win in the fucking store for new players. So I guess it doesn't really matter. Okay. Necrolololomonster. All the money is going to the EU server upkeep. I doubt. All MMOs are doing... Yeah, I saw World of Warcraft had like a 6 months sub-only mount, so you had to sub for 6 months to actually be able to buy it. Bet you it's gonna be like 30 bucks. Yeah, we will see. I thought the Sky Shards would cost more, So we will see how it is. Anto Marco, I know. That's my biggest grudge with mounts. In my opinion, there's just not enough mounts from dungeons and other shit. Yeah, definitely Nox, yeah. WoW has low sub numbers. Yeah, but WoW still is in the millions, right?
Oh my god, no fucking way.
What?
Did you see that slide?
Deadeye 495 is 7 months. Thank you.
Wait.
Thank you.
He disconnected.
So yeah, I mean, in the end, it doesn't really affect me, right? But it's just, I still don't like it. Necromancer, Blast Bones. Remove the delay of the skeleton summoned from this ability and its morphs before it would attempt to leap to its target to help reliability. The boat mount? Yeah. Reduce the minimum range of the leap ability to 7 meters from 5 meters. Situation where the Blast Bones becomes confused on what to do, causing it to stand still. Aha. So yeah, this apparently... I mean, that's another thing. They've done check shit fixing stuff on the live server. It's like, yeah, we will fix it next patch. It's like, well, you know, the AE cones in fucking trials are bugged the whole patch. It's like, what the fuck? But I think they just said, okay, we will not work on 2-3 different versions of an update anymore. So they're just like, hey, fuck live server. We'll just work on the next one and fix the shit there. Which is obviously fucking annoying. If things doesn't get like nothing gets fixed for 3 months straight. The Blast Bones dude still confused? Yeah. It's always interesting to see on the fire boss in Sunspire when you want to activate your Blast Bones and nothing happens, you know, okay, it's laggy. So Blast Bones is just like full monkey mode. Lizard mounts? Yeah, that's true. I was also like, what the F? So yeah. They're just way too slow. Especially a new class. Again, I think a new class, even if it's a little bit more OP than others, it should be strong. It's a new class, otherwise nobody wants to fucking play it. Sure, in PvE you want the Stem Necro because of major vulnerability. Magic Necro, meh. And in PvP, people only used Magic Necro. It's a budget Sorc, basically. And the only reason they use the Stamina ones is because of the Bash build. Hammock, I haven't seen that one yet. Boneyard, increase the cost of his ability and its morphs to 3780. Okay, sure. Yeah, they decrease the damage. So they decrease damage of most AoE abilities. Increase the bonus damage modifier from consuming a corpse to 50%. So that's probably gonna stay about the same, I guess. 50%. Yeah. But you need a corpse on the ground. Pestilence reduce the escalating damage bonus each hit this morph deals. Okay, yeah, sure. 5%. It's gonna stay bottom as long as there is major vulnerability attached to it. Increase the base cost to 4.3 from... Damn! And increase the damage per tick by 90%. Okay, I guess so. It's a lot more. Stem Necro already has a huge drain. It's like... Accelerated access to skill point, giving that once required time is precisely the definition of pay to win. I don't know. For me, pay to win is when you get... Because you can get this shit. First off, you have to grind it anyway, like every other player, right? So you need to actually finish it to be able to unlock it at least once, right? And everybody has access to it, so you don't gain like a 10-20% advantage over someone else just by buying this, because the other player can simply also get it. It's, for me, it's paid to convenience, right? It's paid to save time. But again, obviously not everybody has the same opinion on this. Just saying. So yeah, it is whatever it is. I don't like it personally, just saying. I would be fine with it if the fucking game would actually work. But yeah. Lag, FPS, bugs, you know? Let's see. The archer's base, no, okay. So this skeletal mage or the archer, the main issue with this, especially in Sunspire, you stand in front of the dragon, you summon the skeleton, and it turns around, shoots the fucking mob 200 meters in the back, because it thinks it's closer to you than the dragon. But it never actually hits the target you want him to hit, right? Low level PvP? Yeah. I mean, there's already people that do this shit. But yeah, low level PvP is already full of people with gold gear and maxed out, more like maxed out-ish tunes, so... It's more of an issue on the PCU server though, compared to NA. As of what I've heard. But yeah, you're not wrong. Shocking, Siphon, the ability and S'mores will now update their hitbox when fighting large enemies. This will no longer have a resource cost. What? So this is free now? I guess so. Bitter Harvest, the heal from this ability and its morphs is now probably synced up with the essence you absorb, resulting in less of a delay. Sure. Also the giant dude. Giant bug. They didn't fix that yet? That's on the PTS just. Living Death. Fix an issue, blah. Fix, yeah, whatever. Restoring tether disability and its months long have resource cost and now scale off your highest offensive stats. Okay, sure. Why do they make it free though? The problem with these tethers is they're so annoying to use. It's like, oh, corpse on the ground. Let me see. Doesn't work when you want to click it. Okay. Let's try again. Doesn't work again. Because fucking hitbox is in the way and shit like that. It's just annoying. If it works, it's good though. Just surprised they make it free now. Increase the cost of this ability and S'mores to 4.3k. Yeah, okay. So they increase, yeah. Whatever. In the theme of our ongoing ability audit, many of these updates, abilities adjustments have been set on the goal of bringing values such as healing or damage per second and cost to be more consistent with one another. We believe that auxiliary effects and passives that are paired with these abilities are the primary means of adding depth and variety to each individual ability. While the core function should remain relatively close so you have an easier time effectiveness of these abilities, and there are less overall situations of dead abilities. Okay, so they want to make more ability is useful, I guess. Many changes you will see also strive to add more consistency to the behavior of how these abilities interact with things like critical, strike chance, or scaling mechanism, in hopes to remove some of the many hidden expertise moments where some abilities just feel weaker for certain builds because of arbitrary mechanics and required failure to learn. Yeah, Necro didn't really... So just talk... Let's first finish this. This being said, we also want to make it clear that our standards are not unflinching, and just because we have done a pass of abilities with the audit, it doesn't mean we will never return to them or make adjustments. The goal of standardization we have had with update 21 and 22 is not done under the guise that our standards are perfect, but rather the focus on consistency and order. The concept of balance is highly contextual. So we have taken the stance of reigning in the varied behavior of our incredibly dynamic game, so we can do a better job moving forward. Yeah. So quickly talking about Necromancer. I'm not sure how Bash Necro is after the nerf or change, but it's like you don't really see stem and mech necros in PvP unless you have the Bash setup, right? So it's like, yeah, mech necro, you're like a butcher's Zork. It just sucks. Stem necro without bash build, I'm not sure. I haven't seen a lot. Sure, the Colossus is nice, but it's just like, okay, I pop my Colossus, and then I'm gonna wait till it's ready again. And same thing for PvE. I mean, before we had a Nightblade meta, now we're just stacking stem necros because they do a lot of damage and major vulnerability is so strong. You want to keep rotating that, right? Mech Necro is not bad either, but obviously stamina is stronger, so everybody rolls stamina. That's the thing. FPS Maverick with the 3 months, thank you. And another thing, just in general, like, I think tanking, actually I've seen quite a few Necro tanks in PvE. Healing ones, not so much. I think they're good in like POC dungeons because you have the res ulti. But you could also slot the res ulti on a DD, for example, so it's not necessarily needed. Now, talking about this here. So they say they want to standardize everything, right? So they can get a clear picture. So it's like, well, that's nice. But the problem is, this game always had... Robble just YOLO changed shit, right? He went to the PTS forum section, or like just into the forum, see which dudes QQ the most, and then he just fixed that, changed that shit. And things keep changing and changing and changing, so people have to change their builds all the time, and now it's the same shit. It's so much changes. People have to completely change their build. Like, it's not completely changed because the gear more or less will stay the same, right? But its ability rotation changes. So it's just always so annoying, and if you don't play this game daily, it's really hard to keep track of it. So I really hope once they have finished this, which will probably be in update 24, like next year, I guess, that they finally can start tuning smaller things. Because most pain points, like most feedback that reps farmed, it's still nowhere to be found. When, like, I also have, I think I made a list. Yeah, this here, right? There's a lot of notes, and most of it is not addressed yet. So I hope after that they actually can start to address pain points. Oh, casualty. Yeah, I mean, sure, it's a MMO, right? So it's bound to happen. The question is just to what degree. Obviously, now they had a team change, so they're approaching things differently, right? So we have seen Robble increase the spear shard like 3 patches in a row. And now they nerf it again, and people are like, what the fuck, why? That's all just because other people make the changes now. But sure, you will always have some sort of change to a certain degree. Don't need to cram over the whole fucking game, obviously. Why Cinemax won't hire as a guy who's in gameplay balance? Well, they live in the US and I don't really... Like, I do fine with the stuff I do here. I already give them feedback. But they usually... They say like, thanks. They have Gilliam. Gilliam is there and he's really good. Like, he plays the game a lot. Right? They just have different opinions. There's nothing wrong with that, right? It's just you're gonna piss off a lot of people when you change half the fucking game every patch. That's the problem, what I'm trying to say. So, increase the duration of the off-balance effect on all of its player sources to 7 seconds. Yeah. Off-balance is really annoying to track. I mean, on PC you can have add-on, but if you don't have add-on, it's like there's no way you actually can see it. All player sources of bleeds will now respect the target's physical resistance. Many adjustments have been made to ensure bleeds deal similar damage to other standard damage or time effects. So this fucking sucks. What this is basically saying is bleeds behave the same as physical damage. So it's equal. So why the fuck bother call it bleeds? Just remove bleeds and call it physical damage. I don't like this change at all. Well, Velocity, I mean, now you have to see. So the lead combat dev, Brian Wheeler, used to be the PvP lead dev, right? And Gilliam is also very PvP focused. So the people that make the changes are very PvP focused. Sure, they take PvE into account, right? But you get the idea. Moose JT, that's... How do you say that? Whatever. That's different, right? Like, the combat team is different from the performance team. It's not the same thing. Anyway, let's move on. I fucking hate this change. It's dumb. Can't just call it physical damage. Like, it's... You will no longer become stuck sprinting if you manage to be accosted by a guard while sprinting. Okay, sure. Ground targets will now be unqueued after weapon swapping. Ah, yeah, this was annoying. This is nice. Let's just hope this actually works. Although if you had autocast on, wasn't the issue. Oh, okay. AoE dots will now be 33% weaker than single target dot counter and cost 30% more. Yeah, adjust animation and cast times for many ultimates that are meant to have high impact to better synchronize their attacks to their animations. These abilities cannot be interrupted, and cancelling them or being stopped while casting them will not consume your ultimate. Ah, that's this extra time they added on the ultimates. Don't like it. Improve the responsiveness of leaving or CC breaking, knock up and knock back abilities. I like how they say improved. They don't say fixed. Just improve, you know, one step after another. False God? Yeah. Swinger. There was some things wrong allocated. Okay. There's a lot of fixes, huh? This is now multiplicative rather than being a mixture of additive and multiplicative. Dude, my fucking... talking too much. Resource agnostic sources of healing will now use your highest critical strike chance rather than defaulting to your spell crit only. So does that mean magical healing abilities will use weapon crit too? What? Play, where were we? The ability listed below now properly use precise strikes to scale rather than elf form. Yeah. Where's the fuck didn't I copy that in here? Rip. Player source oblivion damage now deals its damage based on the target's affected max health, with a maximum damage threshold to prevent them from dealing obscene damage against elite type enemies. Okay, so it's like, yeah, the more health you have, the more damage you do. That's nice. Fucking oblivion damage success. Well, you have AoE healing, Oyama. Let's see. Decreased. Yeah, that's that. This now deals 3% of the target's max. Yeah, so they basically changed all the oblivion damage to, like, if you have more health, it will do more damage, right? So, whatever. Major heroism. Fixed, whatever. Oh, you could stack that. Not bad. Dragon Knight. Okay. I'm gonna get some water, or my fucking throat is back in a minute. Okay. So they just rebalanced DK last patch. But I guess they did it again because, you know, I have to do some work. Yeah, obviously if you give them feedback, they might change things, right? But most people just QQ, so... And obviously for the devs, it's really hard to find feedback between all the lines of fucking bitching and complaining. Decrease the cooldown from this passive to 2 seconds from 5 seconds. This was done to help alleviate many of the duration-based ability cost increases, as well as helping this passive synergize with more build customization, such as using the charge trait. Okay. That's nice. That's actually pretty cool. Increase the cost. It morphs to 2.8 from... Okay. They decreased, so nerf. Rip. Could be worse though, eh? Lava whip. Oh, that's nasty though. Like, did people complain this was too OP? This extra weapon or spell damage? Oh wait, but they only say spell damage, not weapon damage. What? Isn't that what class reps? Well, yeah, we also gave them feedback. Oh, we are not... I mean, I don't know. We gave them feedback, but... In PvP, DKs were getting 20k crit tips. Yeah, but that's because of the multiplier. That wasn't because of the weapon damage or spell damage stacking. That was because of the multiplier stacking. You can either use perfect or imperfect false gods. Both are really good. If you don't have access to perfect, get imperfect ones. Anyway, increase the cost. Ooh, that's yeah, this one, man. Increase the dot damage by approx 26%. Yeah, this is gonna fucking hurt. I always liked this dot because it was fairly cheap and it did really a lot of damage, right? So it was nice for resource management. It didn't cost a lot. Now this here, dude, it's like almost twice as expensive. Not exactly, but what the F? Most duplicated. Hard to say. I mean, you have to find other ways to heal, but we will see. Ash Cloud decreased. So yeah, so all these things, cost increase, they changed this a little bit, but I doubt it's enough to really make up for the cost increase. Ash Cloud decreased the healing of 7 morphs by 30%. Who the fuck even used this? Like, sure, you can increase the cost of all morphs to 5.8k. And they reduced this eruption. Poor DK. Increase the cost of this ability and its morphs to 4k. Damn. Fix an issue where the heal... That's a lot of cost increases. Last patch, DKs were like big smile. Like, oh, much buffs. This patch, it's like, That's what I don't understand though. Like, didn't they just ability audit the DK last patch and now they do it again? Or like, I'm a little bit confused. Miru. Well, I mean, you have to see. It's hard to say whether it's really harder or not. You just have to find other way. Well, it's probably harder because healing springs and orbs, they accounted for a lot of healing. But yeah, we will get to that later. I want to talk about that later. So yeah, DK. I still wish stem DK. I mean, again, they're just doing ability audit, so once they address pain points, I really hope we will see more stamina morphs for a stem DK. Nightblade. Reduced amount of mitigation the stacking bonuses provide to 2% from free. Sure, still really strong. Mark target. This is still one of the... I hate this mitigation nonsense. So dumb. Like, Nightblade should be very offensive, right? But squishy. And now they... Mark target are now considered 1 negative effect instead of 3. Piercing mark will count as 2 due to reveal aspect. Okay, yeah. Because of purge and that shit, sure. Teleport strike, decrease the damage per tick off the top by 22%. Yeah. This is only single target though, eh? Concealed weapon, fixed, yeah, whatever. Twisting Path, decrease the damage per tick. Fixed. Increase the healing per tick, yeah. So most AoEs got nerfed. There's not really a... This ability and the Shadow Disguise finally works. No, it doesn't. Morph now lasts 3 seconds at base, but are no longer affected by Dark Veil passive. Okay. I guess so. Increase the cost of this ability and it's morphs to 4k. Damn. Reduce the damage per hit of corrosive by 9%. Area attack, corrosive slash now deals the same damage as a normal attack instead of 20% bonus damage. So yeah. Some Nightblade didn't really get hit that hard, huh? Not that they need to. Yeah, I will rework most builds. The PvE builds, set-wise, I doubt there will change much. It's mostly skills and rotations that are going to change, right? PvP-wise, yeah, we definitely have to change everything. This patch will go live at the start of August, so we will have a lot of time to PvP actually then. Let's see. Oh yeah, I heard Caltrops got wrecked. Oh wait, there is more. I didn't see this. This morph no longer increases damage dealt of the attack, but instead reduces weapon damage of enemies hit by 300 weapon damage. Bro, that's actually... That's actually fairly OP for PvE. How much healing reduction is mending? No shit, what's the real name of healer? Healer's habit? No, what's the mending set called? Healing mage? I think, healing mage, no? Healing mage. Yeah. When you use 430. Yeah. So a lot of people don't know this, but all mobs in PvE use weapon damage, okay? Even if it's a mage. So on trash, this amount is about 33% damage reduction, and on bosses it can be 10-15%. So this is actually, for PvE, this is actually fairly good if one dude uses this. Especially if it also works on fucking bosses. Decrease the cost of visibility and its morphs to 3k and increase the damage by 17% per tick. Sure. So it's just damage over time and AoE dots. Yeah, Hamhak. I've mostly done trials. Once I have Godslayer, I will focus more on PvP. Didn't Mending get nerfed? No. Well, I mean, it's harder to keep up because you can't spam springs anymore. Don't know. But can you still spam reapply? I haven't tested it yet. How does springs work now? How close are you to Godslayer? We had... I wasn't in that run, but I was on vacation. They had a 35-36 run. And somebody died on the last boss at 40%, something like that. So we should get it soon. So yeah, Nightblade's not that many changes. Mostly either AoE or single target dot nerfs and some cost increases. Nothing out of the ordinary. So you can technically reapply it before it runs out, right? It will just refresh. So yeah, you could still keep up mending, I guess. Hey Turuk. Sorcerers! That's where I heard the world is ending. Decrease the base cost of this ability's morphs to 3k. Increase the damage by 10%. Okay. Damn, didn't they just nerf the damage once? Crippling? Oh yeah, this one got the damage increase. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Okay, yeah. Good point, good point. The area portion of this will now deals the same damage as the initial hit. Oh, so it basically will deal the same damage. Here you got the reduction and... yeah, okay, I see. I would go stop Nightblade. Okay, now let's see. Reduce the shield size. One of my friends almost lost it. He stopped playing before the big shield nerf. And he came back like 2-3 weeks and he's like, what the fuck are those tiny ass shields? And then here again, shield nerf. Uninstall. I'm not sure. What did Saw say why they changed this? Final cosmic ability is now 3.78 and it no longer gains... yeah. That's a huge reduction. Yeah, Saint, yeah. Unstable Familiar. Decrease the special ability of the summon and the Vault have him morph to 2-8 from 3-5. Increase the damage per tick by 8% of the base, but reduce the damage per tick. Okay. Reduce the healing granted from the special of the by 14%. I mean, you can use this on a Sorc tank, but who the fuck plays Sorc tank, right? Like, why even bother change? The Zap and Kick attack from Morse will now do the same damage to help reduce volatility in performance. Reduce the damage of the Winged Twilight by 69%. Fucking rip down the trash can. Reduce the damage dealt by the Twilight Zap and Kick by approximately 35%. Man, that's a hefty nerf. I mean, the pets kinda overperformed. So it's like, yeah, but probably hits like a wet noodle now. Or maybe, I mean, Battleground sometimes it's full of fucking pets, or it's just annoying. But yeah, I guess it just sucks seeing like the previous 4 or 5 patches, you know, buff pet, buff pet, buff pet, and then boom, goodbye. It's like, okay, whatever. Vault Escape, this ability ends morph stuns and no longer be blocked. This is pretty OP, to be honest. You can't block this anymore. Apparently it's not working on the PTS, somebody told me. Reduce the ramping cost increase from using Bolt Escape, or it's morphs to 33% per stack from 50. That's also nice. Yeah, Bolt Escape got a lot stronger. Overload. Yeah, this is nice. I think Pet Sorcs got kinda chebated, yeah. But the others should be fine. The hitbox for these abilities, heavy attacks will now properly update when fighting Dragoons. Sure. Lightning Splash. Decrease the cost when it's morphs to 3k from 3.5 and decrease the damage by 37%. Yeah, okay. So similar to other classes, this one got hella burned into the... I don't know. But other than that, I mean, as a non-pet Sorc, sure, the shield kind of sucks, yeah. The shield changes. Yeah, Meteor into a streak. Gonna be juicy. I mean, there's nothing you can do. You can't even fucking dodge roll it. Yeah, I mean, I do understand why they nerfed the pet Sorcs. Yeah, I'm not sure why they... I don't know, honestly. I can just guess. But it's like nobody bitched about like, oh, Bolt Escape sucks. Make it better. So yeah, it's like just out of nowhere, like, whatever. Templars, so that's where I heard the balance changes really go up into heaven. Stem has been dominating. I don't know. I mean, I don't really play Cyrodiil, so it's hard for me to tell. I mostly do Battlegrounds. I can't bear with the performance in Cyrodiil. It's like, when it doesn't lag, there's nothing going on. And when it lags, like, when there is something going on, it just lags. I don't understand how people play with that fucking lag. Reduce the base cost of this ability in Mars to 2.7. Okay. Spear shards decrease the cost of this ability in Mars to 3 from 3.2. Oh yeah, that's actually a good point. I completely forgot about this. All stamina abilities are like 15% cheaper compared to their magical counterparts, if I recall correctly, for no reason whatsoever to help sustain. That was Robble's way of fixing sustain. Let's just make all stem abilities cheaper. I actually wonder if this still applies to all the others. Spear shards decrease the cost of this ability Mars to 3k. Increase the dot damage by 37% per tick and the blazing spear by 42% per tick. So yeah, I can see why the people are mad here, because they buffed this the past 3 patches. Nobody bitched about it being too strong, and now they fucking nerf it. Because it's in their class audit. And then it's like, okay, when they're done with the class audit, pain points, they're gonna buff it again? I'm not sure. Honestly, Sorc didn't get hit that hard. These change, I mean, the shield change, okay, I don't know why. But the pet kinda deserved it, it was way too fucking strong. And you got Boltos like this here, dude? That's fucking OP. Spear Wall. Increase the duration of mana protection granted from his passive to 6 seconds. That's actually nice. Eclipse. Oh, that's where the juicy stuff comes in, apparently. Rework this ability in more, so you will now envelop your target in a sphere of darkness for 4 seconds, which harms them anytime they use a direct damage attack. The first attack causes the sphere to hinder them, snare 30%. The second attack causes the sphere to entangle them, immobilize. The third attack causes the sphere to smother them, stunning them. Stun, root, snare. Very nice in one ability. These effects can only occur once every second. Note that the sphere can no longer be CC broken early, but can still be cleansed. Damn, the amount of counterplay. Total Dark. I think this sounds way too OP, especially because you cannot CC break it anymore. Like what? Termi with the 10 months. How you doing? You back in business? Or are you still chilling?
Fuck this shit. Fuck this shit, seriously.
Thank you, dude. Well, yes, if it's, I mean, because they have this class audit, they're standardizing everything. So it's like, yeah, it makes everything the same, right? That's kind of a problem. But I hope they will address this after they're done with the audit, where they want to address pain points. So yeah, you can keep this up 100% now. This is, I don't see, like, Total Dark. Rename this morph to Living Dark. You now envelop yourself in darkness for 4 seconds, which protects you. Anytime an enemy hits you with a direct damage attack, they are immobilized for 3 seconds and you are healed. The heal value has been decreased by approximately 25% compared to the original value, but it can now occur every half second. I saw a video of someone doing this. He stood there and the other dude was damaging him. He didn't drop below 75% health. I'm 100% sure this will get nerfed. So, yeah. This will not go live like this. It's too broken. Especially this year. No. Yeah, the one you envelope yourself. This year is also strong. Like in duels, man, it's gonna be so cancer because you cannot break it. You can cleanse it, but it's like, oh, you cleanse it? Well, I would just place a new one. No problem. Pay to win class? There is no pay to win class. Raise passives? No, they will stay the same. Solar Flare. Increase the damage of this ability and the Dark Flame by 40%. Okay. Decrease the damage of this morph by 33%. Okay. I guess so. I don't know. So it's still the same. Wait, didn't people say they killed Dark Flare or what? I mean, if they don't change this, you will fucking see Magplars everywhere. Even Stamplers, you can use a Stampler too. Sunfire, reduce the cost, okay, and increase the dot. Yeah. Nice. This never hit hard, so it's actually nice to see a small damage increase. Yeah. I doubt this will make it live. I'm surprised, like... What did... I don't understand, like, how this could go on past testing. But I forgot PTS is the QA team, so of course they could have not noticed. I'm joking. I'm joking. Backlash! Purifying Light. Decrease the healing per tick. Whatever. Cleansing Ritual. Increase the healing per tick of its morph by 95? What? What? Okay. I guess so. Increase the cost to 4.8. They only tick once every 2 seconds. Multi-faceted operational power. Ritual Retribution is morph no longer states it grants additional modifiers to the damage and healing and instead deals damage for an deals damage for an identical coefficient of the heal. That's a lot of damage, no? So if your healing ticks for 4k, it will tick for 4k damage as well? People are solo parsing on 90k? Yeah. You can solo parse 90k on every fucking class. Not that 60. No, dude, I'm not sure where you get those fucking numbers from, but they're straight out wrong. Every class can hit 90k. You just need to learn to play. Lico, like, Google Lico YouTube. He has a lot of rotation videos. And most classes are well within the radius. Yeah, if you're very good, you can even hit the 100k. Sure, yeah. Yeah, but Prochetti, Magic Warden is not a class. It's an abomination. Yeah, that's on the new raid, dummy. Stem Sork? Yeah. Go to YouTube and search for Lico Esso. He has parse videos of all classes. Two-hander, bow, dual-wield bow. Check it out. Fix an issue where the man, blah blah blah. Okay, whatever. Where was? Yeah. So this is huge ass buff, man. This Ritual of Retribution. That's a lot of damage. Hammer Guild hits 104. Yeah, on the new... Yeah, so next patch in general, we will have higher DPS. Because there's a few new dots that got buffed, right? Which are really strong. Okay, Templars. Not bad, to be honest. But yeah, they have to take a look at this one. And this here also feels a little bit overtuned, to be honest. Like, it's just so much shit you get from one ability. Sure, it's quite expensive, but still. Okay, Warden. So yeah, Templar will be fine. Easy peasy, both in PvE and PvP. I still wish Templar would get a little bit more love though. Okay. But I guess we will see that once they address pain points. In like 2025. They super buff Cleansing Ritual to compensate for gutting orbs and healing springs. I also have the feeling, but it's like, so Saw still thinks the only healer should be a Templar. I'm not sure. As a 2 beta. Pain points is like, so the class reps farmed a lot of feedback talking about pain points people have. Like about the class, about the spec. Like Stamp Templar, it doesn't have a lot of stamina abilities it can use. It lacks healing, stuff like that. Right? Animal Companions, Advanced Species, reduce the damage increase per animal companion slotted to 2% from 3. Okay. Sure. That's a hefty nerf. Well, hefty, but still. Because it's all damage. Increase the cost to 2.7 damage per tick. And increase the damage per tick by 70%. Okay. Not bad. Fucking cost increase everywhere. The thing is, if consuming traps makes it on life, sir, we will have enough resources anyway from the fucking return. Decrease the heal over time, rip, increase the burst heal. Okay. Increase the heal over time from this ability and its morphs by approximately 66%. That's a lot. Okay. Impaling shards increase the cost. Oh, that's a hefty increase. Oh, damn. That's a huge cost increase and a fucking nerf on top of it. Damn. Rip. Yeah, I know, Stem Sork is even worse. But you guys have to see, so... When we were at Sauce HQ... How many were we? I think 6 class reps were there? Stem Necro only had 2 stamina abilities. And we actually bitched about it. Like, we gave feedback telling them, like, come on. There's so many useless magic morphs. Change some into stamina. So they actually did. Now we have like 5-6 stamina morphs on Stem Necro. And I hope once, like when they will address the pain points, they will do the same for other classes at some point. Would be nice. So yeah. So again, PV wise, DPS wise, damage goes up, believe it or not. Because there is a few more shit in the weapon skill trees we will check out in a second. The main problem I have with that is they nerfed class abilities and buff non-class abilities. So at some point you barely play your class, instead you play your weapon skill lines, right? Or like your the other shit you don't really wanna. I didn't read the swarm. This ability can now infect any nearby enemy from patient 0 rather than only 6. Oh, okay. That's not bad. The problem with this is, I think the enemy has to die, right? And then it spreads. Most of the times the dudes are dead before this even finishes. But yeah, they removed the cap. That's actually not bad. That's nice. I never really see that morph used. That's probably why they changed it. So Berserker Strike. This ability's morphs will now deal damage in a 5-meter radius if the initial hit successfully hits. Note the initial hit can still be dodged since initial attack is not an AoE. Onslaught. This morph no longer refunds ultimate cost if you gain killing blow with it. Instead, it converts the physical and spell resist into penetration. Yeah. So this is basically 16 seconds corrosive armor. This is like really OP as fuck, man. Do you still... Wait, the other morph gave resistance, right? Or... I mean, 16 seconds? It's... Wait, the buff is on you, right? The morph? Does it apply a debuff on the enemy? Or does it give... No, it gives the penetration to you, right? So you hit the fucking tank with 30k with this. And you get... basically... maxed out penetration. For 16 seconds. Damn. That's a little bit... Like, why did they think it was necessary to increase the duration? Everybody will fucking run a two-hand, like, this ulti. Even fucking Nightblade. In-cap is a joke compared to this. No one used Onslaught? Yeah. But it's like changing this into penetration was already enough. Why increase the time? But yeah, I mean, whatever. But yeah, it definitely will be used a lot more if it stays like that. 16 seconds just sounds so long. Like, so long. Carve. Reduce the damage over time from this ability by 9%. Okay. Small nerf. Still really strong. Increase the damage bonus scaling to 50 from 40. This morph no longer snares enemies hit. Instead, it now crushes the earth beneath you upon reaching your target, causing area damage to happen every second for an 8-second duration. Oh, I saw a Parse dual wield two-hander from someone. He got like 90k. And he used Stampede. Yeah, okay. I was like, why the fuck would you use Stampede? But now, okay, it's a new dot. When fucking meme build is stronger than Magicka setups. Oh boy. You have to kill to get that penetration. Are you sure? Someone told me you don't have to kill. I mean, this morph no longer refunds ultimate cost if you gain a killing blow with it. Instead, you don't have to kill. This, if you gain a killing blow, that was for the old ultimate refund. So now they say instead it converts resistance to penetration, so you don't need to kill. Okay, Dixion already tested it, so you don't need to get a kill to get the penetration. So you'll get it nonetheless, unless the enemy dodge rolls it. Can you dodge roll it? Execution, increase the execute multiplier ability to 400 from 350. Okay, sure. Yeah, okay. It is a bug. Where did you read it's a bug? I think because it says converts physical and spell resistance into penetration. It doesn't say that you need to get the kill on it. The killing blow was from the old morph that they said. Probably. A dev set? Okay, yeah, then it will be fucking shit again. Well, yeah, I know, it would be OP. Next up, the Ox Bleed from this ability now ticks every second instead of every 2 seconds. Oh, that's a huge fuck. Damn. Damn. That's a huge bleed buff. Jesus. Momentum, reduce the duration. 20. Okay, reduce the cost. This morph will no longer apply a heal over time, but instead will grant major evasion for the duration. Momentum. This morph now reduces in cost as the ability ranks up. And rally increases the baseline heal from this ability by 100, but reduce the maximum scaling bonus to 300 from 564. Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure if it was really necessary to slap on evasion on this fucking ability. I feel it's unnecessary. I think they just want to have it on most skill lines, that's why they put it there, but it's still like... Yeah, so they obviously increase the damage of the bleeds, but bleeds is basically functioning like physical damage, right? It doesn't do anything special. So yeah, everybody will have major evasion next patch. Like, I mean... I just don't know why they nerfed the bleed so much. It's like, why call it bleeds when it does the same thing as fucking physical damage? Just call it physical damage and then remove bleeds from the game. Like, I don't understand that change at all. Reduce the cast time of this ability and smorfs to 0.8 from 1. Okay, sure. So we went from 1.1 to 0.8. That's not bad. Reduce the cost, increase the damage again. Okay. Okay, I guess. Still pretty hard to use. I don't know. Hey, Maru. Hitman, you're not wrong. It's also my guess. Because we have not been there yet, but the orb and the healing changes, I think, were mostly done to reduce the fucking lag. To get fucked. But it will not, like, I doubt it will really help. Defensive posture to a damage shield rather than a weird buff. These abilities no longer passively reduce the cost of block. Blah, blah, blah. Reduce the duration to 6 seconds, so it works like a shield now, and increase the cost. The damage shield scales of 30% of your maximum health. I'm not really sure if this was necessary to do. Yeah, I will put it onto the YouTube later. Yes. The ability will continue to reflect once, but will now reflect any projectile rather than only spell projectiles. Okay. The ability no longer stuns the target if you successfully reflect. Instead, the morpher introduces the passive, which now increases to a maximum of 10% block mitigation. Okay. Absorb magic. Increase the heal granted from an absorbed ranged attack by 29%. Okay. I'm not sure. Does Sword and Board really need a fucking shield? Like... I'm not really sure if this... Good. Fortress, increase the cost reduction. 15, okay. Low slash. It reduced the damage. Damn. So it's 12 seconds instead of 9. Deep slash now hits all targets in a 6 meter. What? This ability now hits all targets in a 6 meter radius of your target instead of only 2 targets. Damn. You can apply snare on all. Okay. Why did they nerf the damage of low slash though? Was it too strong? Pork nog. Yeah, I know, bro. The tanking is really freaking difficult in this game. But of course, if you have to stack, like, it's just so much incoming damage. But that's just a general problem of the game. They will never be able to balance that shit, so they just place a shield and okay, easy. AoE taunt? Like, this game doesn't... Why would you need AoE taunt? I actually like how taunting works in this game. You prioritize the hard-hitting mobs first, and then you go on to the weaker ones. Power Bash. This is now considered a spammable attack. Increase the damage dealt by all versions by 94%. Reduce the cost. Why does Sword and Board need a fucking spammable? Can somebody make a Sword and Board bow build DPS thingy or something? I don't know. This morph retains the stun with a max duration of 3, but it no longer applies major defile. Initial hit damage is now halved, and it will deal the other half of damage when the stun ends. Oh, okay. Damn. Rework the passive. This passive granted is now called... What? Oh, it's not resentment, because you are an angry person when you get hit. Resentment activates after blocking any attack and grants you 5% additional damage on your next power slam. Stacks up to 10 times, lasts 5 seconds, but you can only gain 1 stack every 250 milliseconds. Okay. Also, you can stack up these things and then it will do more damage. I'm not sure why they made this spammable, it's kinda weird. Do you think two-hander will be even stronger? Well, I mean, two-hand bow builds are already strong, but what you can do now is dual-wield two-hand. Can also get really high damage. Wait. Oh, this was low slash, yeah. Puncture. They also reduce the damage and the cost. I mean, it's a taunt ability, I guess, so that's fine. 15 seconds, sure. Increase your shield size, 25, reduce stun. Yeah, useless. So yeah, I'm not sure. I don't like the shield. It's unnecessary, but it will make tanking definitely easier for most content. Yeah, so somebody had dual wield front bar, two-hander back bar, and he got like 90k. Mitatashi, hello. Do you have? No, I don't. Oh, Gray posted a 97k dual wheel 2-ender parse. Yeah. If you want to join our Discord, there's the link. Just make sure to mute the server, there's a lot of spam. But yeah, maybe you can find some useful things. There's also a lot of good memes. How does the tanking work? You basically, you don't have AoE taunt, so you need to separately taunt each mob. So you need to prioritize the hard-hitting mobs, the dangerous mobs first, right? You need to tank the boss. You need to stay alive. If possible, you need to support your group with support abilities, support sets and stuff like that. I will go with a Magic Sorc Mitatashi. It's probably the best bet. Magic Sorc is definitely the best bet. So yeah, Magic. I would watch some YouTube videos. I'm sure there's some people uploading tanking videos. You can also check out Wöhler.eu. Maybe somebody can link it. He has like a tanking website which explains the basics and stuff. That's probably a good starting point. Yeah, wait, I will give you the link. This one here. This is a PvE build. You might have to adjust it a little bit. And there's also beginner setups. If you're completely new and you don't know what's going on, I would recommend, let me check. There, this one. There's also beginner's guide. I have beginner guides for all kind of stuff on the website. I would really recommend reading all this stuff if you're interested in what it does and how to understand the mechanics. It's all here. Okay. Blade Cloak. This ability has shifted into an AoE dot category rather than a focus on being a buff. Okay. Increase the duration to 8 seconds. Reduced cost. Decrease damage by 5. Increase tick frequency to 2 instead of 3. Damn. Okay. On top of granting Major Expedition for 4 seconds, this morph now also extends the duration to 10 seconds. Okay. Deadly Cloak. This morph no longer deals increased damage per tick, but instead deals damage every sec. What? Damn. This with Black Rose daggers in PvP? Yeah, Mitatashi, then I would really recommend this one, the beginner guide. Just read through it. It explains you and it will also tell you what you need to do next. Damn. This here with Black Rose dual wield? That's juicy as hell. And obviously this is now also really good dot for any PV build. Just a tiny bit scared. My Magic Sorc is level 42 and the forum is going crazy. Yeah. It's not dead. Sorc probably got off better than most other classes. People are just fucking morons on the forum. That's why I also put the patch notes onto my website. So I can prevent people from going to the forums and see all the fucking idiot posts there. I tweeted a while ago, like, if you're a new player and you go to the forum right now, it's like the world is ending and you're like, what the fuck is going on here? Yeah, Reddit is the same thing. So Max Orc, it's barely... all classes received similar nerfs, right? And similar buffs. So it's not only exclusive to Sorc. Okay, so yeah, this one looks good, damn. Heavy attack, fixed, okay. Hidden blade, reworked this way from a range spammable into a utility skill. Oh, this is really weird, huh? Increase the cost to 3.8. Reduced the range to 22. Reduce the damage dealt by 25. This will now interrupt the target if they were casting an attack. Okay, sure. This ability no longer applies major brutality. Instead, enemies hit are marked. And light or heavy attacking a marked target while dual wield will grant you major brutality. Why make it so complicated? Whatever. I mean, you know, I can see why people complain, obviously, because you're working on a build, and then, oh, I'm done. New patch. Everything, you have to do everything again. So it's kind of... But it's mostly skill and rotation changes, right? Sets will more or less stay the same. In PvE, that is. PvP is different. Shrouded daggers no longer decent bounce, but can interrupt any... Disable now only marks initially instead of enemy hit, blah blah blah. Each hit deals our AoE damage downward. Okay, so it's... yeah, whatever. Flying Blade. This morph allows you to reactivate the ability free of cost on a marked target, which causes you to jump to the target and gain major brutality for 30 seconds. So it works same as like gap closer, ambush. Lacerate, increase the size of the ability and the RAM morph. Yeah, it still sucks. Right? Yeah. The X split takes every second instead of every 2. Okay, that's nice. Yeah. Oh, they actually increased twin slashes. It's interesting. What stem class? If you want a robust one, Stem Nightblade or Stem Warden probably is your best bet, the most safe bet. Well, Master Pew, not everybody has time to play every day, you know? You need to understand that. If you play daily, sure, it will not take that long. But for other people that don't have time to play too much, it's obviously annoying. Oh, increase the cost. Okay. 70% reduction. Reduce the total execute multiplier of this morph to 100 from 260. Damn. That's a fucking nerf. Oh, wait, so they increase the damage over time portion of the ability, but the modifier in the end. I'm not sure. Still smells like a nerf, but I'm not sure. Axes? Yeah. I just think it's a dumb change to make them work the same as physical damage. It's like, why call them bleeds? When it's physical damage, it's the same shit now. Narnizzle, it's hard to say. Bleed ticks were already not bad, so I actually wonder how they will be. They could actually be better than daggers. If it really... yeah, could be. Because when they tick every 1 second now. And in PV, you have mostly 0 resistance anyway on the bosses, so it shouldn't really change much, right? Rapid fire channel from 11%. Okay, sure. Reduce the duration of the turret to 5 seconds and fix an issue where it was double dipping in rank progression. Okay. Why was it? It only fired every 1 second, so why 5-5? Whatever. Scatter shot. This is now utility. Increase the cost, reduce the damage, reduce the range, increase the knockback. Knocks the caster back, instead it deals 20% more damage than the other morph. Okay. The heal from this will now trigger upon dealing damage rather than when the target is knocked back. Okay, so it's a more reliable heal. It's actually a good change. Increase the damage by approximately 9%. Didn't they just nerf this last patch? Okay, let's see. Disability and small. Yeah, okay, that's what's this. Volley. They complete. Disability and small deal damage every second rather than every half second, and increase the damage per tick by 11%. This will result in an overall damage loss. Oh really? Reduce the cost. Arrow barrage no longer extends the duration, but increases damage per tick by 20%. Endless Hail grants cost reduction, but now lasts 12 seconds. Okay. So yeah. That's kind. I mean, Volley got hit pretty hard. That's a huge ass nerf from 0.5 to 1 second. Destro Reach. Function as a dot. Okay, reduce the cost. Reduce the initial hit by 70%, but increase the dot by 167%. This will no longer grants additional bonus. That sucks. The rip. Reduce the range. This morph retains a unique functionality for each elemental stuff type you choose. But no longer deals damage over time. Flame Clench and knocks the target back, and stuns from duration. Frost Clench immobilizes the target. Shock converts the attack into AoE explosion. This morph increases the range to 28 meters and reduces the cost. Wait, I think this here should be Clench, right? I think they typed that wrong. So you have to choose between range or... So yeah, range, which either stuns, or you choose between dot. Yeah, that kind of sucks. I don't know. I mean, I can see why they did it, but yeah. I guess it's you still have the initial hit, right? So Force Shock. Increase the damage. Oh, they increase the chance to apply elemental status effect. Damn. The damage of the cleave attack increased by 172. A lot of people don't know, but Force Pulse has like an AoE damage type thing if 3 enemies or 2 enemies stay close. The elemental weapon is still better, yeah, Songer. Now, Pulsar. Reduce the duration of the minor angle to 7 seconds from 30. Damn. Okay, sure. Wall of Elements. Increase the duration to 8 seconds. Decrease the cost. Decrease the damage per tick, so we got a small nerf. Increase the duration from this ability to 9 seconds from 8, which ranks up to 12. It no longer reduces in cost. Okay, unstable. No longer reduces in cost, but increases in explosion damage. Increases the damage of the explosion by 94. Yeah, so you're probably gonna use unstable wall now, because it's 8 seconds, which is better than 6. Because elemental blockade, 12 seconds too long. On the other hand, you actually could run 12 seconds on the Sorc with Liquid Lightning, has also 12 seconds. You have to see which one is better. Probably the other one. 8-second rotations. Parent Shock. I think it's still the same, no? Yama? I tested that, it deals more damage than blockade. Okay. Okay, restoration, that's where... Blessing of Protection. Reduce the cost, increase the healing. Okay, this here. Minor Berserk will no longer hit pets since they already gain owner's Minor Berserk. This is nice. Because sometimes the pet could steal the buff, which was annoying. Siphon no longer have a cast time or a cost since they are purely debuff skills, such as weakness to elements. 24 seconds. Since there is no cast, it gains a new morph effect. Triggering the minor lifesteal debuff will also grant the activator minor expedition. Okay. I guess. Weird, but okay. Yeah, but the NSL, they work differently. You know, Shock Clench has this leap thingy and then it gives like a small explosion. I think the Elemental Ring does more though, I would guess. And I think it used to stun the Shock thingy, you know? Probably still does. Grant healing to a true AoE heal over time rather than a hybrid spammable blah blah blah. So it lasts 8 seconds now, but you only can have one active at a time, right? Reduce the healing per tick by 44%. Reduce the cost. Now healing springs this ability now grants 30 magic every time it heals an ally rather than restoring free 30 magicka. This will result in higher return if you hit all 6 targets. Okay. Illustrious healing, this ability continues to increase duration. The new duration is 9 seconds up to 12. So this here is where the big boy problems come in, obviously, right? Healing springs or illustrious healing used to overstack these to heal through like a lot of damage in PvE. I'm not sure how much it was used in PvP, but yeah, that's the the thing is. So what they're trying to do, most likely, because lag is always a problem in this game, like bubble spam, healing spring spam, things like endless hail taking 1 second now instead of 0.5 seconds. It's just to reduce the amount of traffic that has to go through the server, okay? Because obviously, one orb, the server has to check way less things compared to when you actually see like 10 orbs, right? Same with healing springs. You spam that shit like crazy, so it takes so much and it has to calculate so much, and now it's not that. Now you can't use it that often anymore. So it kinda softens the load on the server. I'm not sure if it really was done to do that, but it really much sounds like it. In PvE, I could think, because healing springs and orbs, they healed so much more than any other ability, so it could also just have been to, because like the ability is overperformed. But I think there would have been better ways to go on about this. Because it still sucks to limit abilities, kinda, you know? This is a fast-paced combat MMO. It just sucks when when I'm not allowed to like say, oh nope, you have to wait. But yeah, it's not gonna help the server performance. Yeah, I also don't know why they nerfed the ticks. I think they might change this again a little bit. I'm actually not sure how. Like in trials, there's some scenes or some mechanics where it's really hard to overheal. It's gonna be tough. So I'm not sure what's going to happen with it. You have to find other ways to heal, so I don't know, you have to fucking use like VHOF hard mode, yeah. You obviously have to drop Novas if you're already not doing that. Then you have to fucking use Templar healing ult or Warden healing trees, shit like that. Vigor, yeah. I don't know. Increase the healing per tick by 980, but reduce the duration to 10 seconds. It now only hits one ally, okay. Dwarf now doubles the frequency but halves the duration. This obviously also like the was it the Dragon Star, the Masters resto is also kind of rip. Increase the burst heal. Okay, sure. Steadfast. Increase the base shield size by 14%, but reduce the bonus scaling. Okay. This morph will now heal you once every second for 25% of the remaining shield size instead. To ensure you gain effectiveness out of it. Okay. Yes, that's fine. I'm not sure. Healing Wall got a really fucking hard hit in my opinion, like 2-3 patches ago. The Master Destro? Are you sure? I don't think so. Wait. No, Master Dash is still fine. The cost reduction and the direct damage portion is still active. Well, yeah, a little bit, but it's way cheaper to use. Yeah. Yep. Gonna go to the washroom real quick. I will roll an ad in the meantime. Don't get scared. Otherwise, I really have to take a leak. Am I back? Okay, armor. This morph no longer returns 3% of your max magic when up sorcerer instead of the ability's cost. Okay. I'm not sure how this turns out, but a lot of people said this was highly overtuned because especially when you stacked higher max magicka. But yeah, it's definitely way less now because it's only the ability's cost. Sure, nice. Medium armor. Reduce the cost. Damn, also had a new function. If you are hit with an AoE attack while the ability is active, you gain Mage Expedition. Okay. I don't know why that is a thing, but okay. Each piece of medium armor now increases the duration of major evasion by 2 seconds, up from 1. That's a huge buff. Elude also increases the duration of the Mage Expedition, but only by 1 second. Okay. Shuffle increases snare and immobilization immunity granted per piece of medium armor to 1 second. Okay, that's actually strong, nice changes. Are Magicka Neckers in a good spot? I mean, they have never been bad, right? So, yeah. But they still have some issues with abilities. No Mitatashi. Again, you probably have... I mean, you're probably brainwashed from the forums. It's all classes got nerfed equally, more or less, I guess. So it's not only specific to one setup and to make them buy other stuff. And most classes pull similar numbers. Heavy armor, reworked its ability. God damn it. The base ability is now called Unstoppable. Reduce the base cost to 3,780. Okay, sure. Immovable Brute. Rename this morph to Unstoppable Brute. It no longer passively reduces the cost of CC break while slaughtered, but instead reduces the cost of CC breaking while the Major War and Resolve are active. Increase the cost reduction. Whatever, I guess. Unstoppable. Rename this morph to Immovable. Instead, while the snare persists, increase the amount of damage you can block by 5% per piece of heavy armor worn. If you are in all 7 pieces of heavy armor, you will truly be immovable. Unless elite difficult enemies hit you with a special move, they don't care if you think you're immovable. So basically, you gain damage mitigation, but you also get snared. But that's a lot of mitigation, no? That's a fuck ton. Yeah, I know, Justice. Petsorg? Nah, it's not dead. Petsorg definitely got hit a little bit. But it was also slightly overperforming, so yeah, whatever. How much of this crap will actually make it to life? Probably 90%. So usually what they do in week 2, no, in week 3 or week 4, you will see most other balance changes. And after that, it's usually just fixes. So once week 3 or week 4 arrives, you will see, okay, that's more or less it. Soul Strike. 22 damage increase. Okay, longer reveal. Wait, they increased the base cost? I don't know, it doesn't really... Like, why would you use it?
Guys, I'm done for today.
Horness, 18 months. How
shit.
you doing? Thank you.
Fuck this shit, seriously.
Yeah, this doesn't whatever. Soul Trap, that's where it gets juicy, boys. This ability has been restructured to fit into our single target dot standard. Since this ability is the first ability you have access to, it will dynamically scale with your offensive stats with some extra detection abilities. If your weapon damage is higher, it will deal physical damage, but if your spell damage is higher, it will deal magic damage. Increase the damage per tick by 161. Consuming Trap. This morph will now restore 20% of your max health, magic, and stamina. So, is it actually still dealing magic damage, or does it also deal physical? Oh yeah, it says it will deal physical damage. So, that means it will also take into account the penetration. I have seen some people do like 10k damage with this, because obviously you will see like dot builds or the Maelstrom daggers will become way more potent again, because you have so much new dots you can use with. Hey Linquin. It still works, but I will probably do a new one. So yeah, this here is gonna be strong, and this works both for magic and stamina, right? So you see a small damage decrease on your AoE stuff, but Soul Trap single target wise, it's just, this is gonna be really strong, and that will definitely fit into the rotation. Maybe they have to tune down this a little bit. I'm not sure how this will fare in PvP. Even in PvE, I mean, you will get so much resources back when the target dies on trash. So we will see how it goes. I can also see it being used in PvP because it deals so much damage. Cursed. No, why would they? Honestly, guys, don't go to the ESO forum. It's just bad, okay? It's just 90% idiots that don't fucking read half of the patch notes, and then they're panicking and I don't know what's going on. The only reason you should go to the forum is to amuse yourself. Because if you're bored and you want to get a good laugh, then that's when I usually go there. Oblivion's Foe? Yeah, I know. You can stack Oblivion's Foe with Maelstrom daggers. Gonna be pretty strong. Bat Swarm. Reduce the cost, increase the duration, increase the base cost, the heal. Wait. Increase... the heal from this ability has been brought into standards, which will result in no real set percent change. The weapon damage scaling of this ability was about 800% weaker than spell damage. Damn! Okay, so it's basically better for stem builds now. Okay, good. Cloud instruments increase the cost. Okay. Well, Devouring Swarm sounds pretty strong. Or good now, at least useful even for stem builds. Just because I was streaming and they were... Who was back? You mean teabagging? Yeah, but that's what people always do. It was a joke, Dovahkin. No, Magdans usually had like a little bit less DPS than other classes. That's why I said it. But now actually with like consuming trap and a few other stuff, you actually even Magdans can pull pretty good damage. Yeah, but it's PvP people. They always shit talk. PvP boys, if you use stuff from me, they always salty, obviously. So that's just how it is. Then I... From the ESO forums? Yeah, who knows. Werewolf. Oh boy. That's a little bit sad. That shit got hit kinda hard. I don't know why. Increase the cost of this ability and smorphs by 25%. Or a max orc. Yeah, definitely vampire. Why would you go werewolf? I know, Miru. Entropy and Soul Trap both are actually pretty good now. Yeah, Daggerface, we have been there. Okay, increase the cost of visibility morphs by 25%. Reduce the healing to 37 from 45. So their idea kinda is what they said here. I already read this. That they're like, okay, werewolf abilities should cost 25% more, but they also should deal 25% more damage. Here's increase the duration of the major brutality to 30 seconds. This morph is now 25% stronger in heal potency compared to the base. Yeah, so it's still a small nerf. Increase the cost of this ability and its morphs to 344. Increase the damage. Reduce the damage over time. Piercing hole, reduce the cost. Wait, they reduce the cost on this one? Okay, interesting. And they reduce the damage as well. Decrease the base cost. Why even change, man? Okay. Increase the cost for free, reduce the radius. Okay, increase the duration of fear to 4 seconds. Major fracture, this will now ranks. Yeah, whatever. Reduce the damage dealt by your light and heavy attacks if this event morphs by 70%. Why do they nerf this? It's supposed to be stronger because, you know, werewolf has big claws. Didn't they already nerf this a while ago? Increase the range of the light attacks to 7 meters from 5 meters. That's nice. Heavy max to 10 meters from 7 meters. After all, werewolf doesn't have T-Rex arms, right? I told Sauce that so long ago. Like, why does a two-hander, which is fucking so long, compared to a dual wield, have the same light attack range? It makes no fucking sense. Same with werewolf. You have like so long arms, but it's like you have. It feels like you have T-Rex arms, so they finally increased it a little bit. This ability and the pack leader morph no longer apply a bleed to enemies hit with light attacks or deal damage with heavy attacks. Yeah, that sucks. Pack leader, the dire wolves can no longer be targeted or die reduced. Okay. I'm not sure if they do that to clean up the place because there's just too much pets, or just to reduce server load because pets can't be targeted anymore. Reduce the damage by 70% and decrease the frequency. Damn, dude. Fucking shovel a grave. Holy shit. Reduce the damage of the launch attack by 60. What? Dude, that's fucking rip. Werewolf person. Increase the damage of the bleed from your light attacks by 25%. What did they do to werewolf? Why? Fighters Guild. Somebody called Peta. The silver bullet, yeah. Fiction issue where Balor and hulking werewolves were not being considered werewolves for Fighters Guild. Okay. Reduce the cost of this ability and morphs to 3,900. Okay. I'm not sure, just sauce logic. Yeah, the Berserker morph is way better now. We will see how this turns out, because they also changed how bleeds work. So yeah, overall, pretty hefty nerf. So what does this do here? Turn undead. This morph is now called Turn Evil and fears any enemy in the area upon cast rather than only undead. So this functions like mass hysteria. This morph no longer reduces the cost of roll dodge finder. Instead, it heals up to 6 friendly targets. So they turned this into a fucking heal? No way. Is this a stem heal now? A second stem heal? Man, so I think Sauce fucking nerfed healing springs and orbs because they want stem healers. What? Or is it scaling? It's a small area? Fuck. I mean, turn undead. I'm not sure. This is strong. I mean, this is strong. This is really strong, actually. And I think you still get the... you still get the crit and all that crap, right? Interesting. These abilities morphs now all have a minor cast time to match their animation of slamming down the glorious Dawnbreaker. Canceling an ultimate will not consume resources, and this cannot be bashed interrupted. Yeah, why the fuck do they put cast times on this shit, seriously? This when its morph no longer has a 6-person cap since its total area is smaller than other ultimates. Oh, really? Oh, well, yeah, okay, phew. Flawless! No longer passively increases your weapon damage by 5%. Instead, it grants you 300 weapon damage for 14 seconds. When you activate it, huh? Smiting, this morph will now properly gain its 20% damage increase. Well, rip Dawnbreaker, I guess. I guess we're gonna slot... What else we gonna slot? Fuck. I have to see. Something that gives us bonus. Onslaught. Well, I mean... In PvP, yes, sure. And in PvE... Expert. Wait. Wait. I thought this was Expert Hunter. Fuck, I'm so dumb. Okay, now it's Circle of Protection thingy. Yeah, okay. Fixing it. This morph grants 25 resist. Instead, it grants up to 25% damage dealt with non-ultimate fighter guild abilities. Okay. Well, Beer for Warden, you have Incap for Nightblade. Yeah, other classes don't really gain that much, right? No, there's... Oh, Silver Bolts is spammable now. Silver Shot. This ability now hits all nearby enemies to your original target instead of having a cap. AoE damage value is now 25% weaker instead of 50. It's okay. Decrease the damage of this by 25, increase cost, reduce the snare. This I actually wonder how good these abilities are as spammable. It's gonna be very interesting. Especially if you keep up Expert Hunter, 25% more damage on Silver Bolts. Could be nice. Trap Beast, increase the duration of the dot and lightweight trap to 10 seconds. The minor force will now properly line up with the duration rather than being 2 seconds longer. Okay, lightweight trap. This morph no longer ranks up the damage of the dot, but instead reduces the cost. Sure, trap. Rename this morph to Barbed Trap. This morph no longer places a new trap in the area after the original duration ends, but instead increases the duration of the dot applied up to 18 seconds. Okay. Still pretty strong. No, I'm probably gonna go PTS tomorrow because I think we don't raid. Buff, yeah. Mage's Guild. Entropy. So this here is the same thing. They completely buffed this. It costs more, but it deals so... Look, increase the damage from all morphs by 220%. This is a new dot Magicka users can use, right? Same with the Consuming Trap. This more... So... It heals you every 2 seconds for 10 seconds, structured. And D-Chan... It returns 100 Magicka when dealing light or heavy attack damage to the target while the dot persists. That's actually pretty nice. It's actually pretty good. It deals fuck ton of damage. Equilibrium. Okay, nothing really changed. Fire Rune. Increase the damage and morphs by 25% and reduce the base cost. Scalding Rune. Increase the damage over time of this morph by 115%. Volcanic Rune. Oh, so this stuns here and this deals more damage. So this is also a good dot now. So the builds really go more into a dot rotation where you will barely use a spammable anymore. Because you're just busy dropping dots left and right, basically, at this point. Oh, I dropped all my dots. Let's start from 0. Which kinda will make the rotations easier, I guess. Maybe, I'm not sure. But yeah, we will see. Max Orcs will be fine. Background Flame Reach, okay. Fire Rune, this one? The Scaling Rune? Okay. Animation cancelling still, of course. That's part of the game. But you know, if you practice rotation, you will learn that without even noticing, most likely. Yeah, the pet orcs kinda got hit a little bit. It's cheese, what build? PV builds, the sets will most likely stay the same more or less. It's just mostly rotations and skills that change. PvP builds will probably change more, sets and skills. But it will take longer. Like PvP is always, I actually first of need to have time to play it. And you actually need to test that shit when the server is live, right? So you kind of have to make like beta builds, then test them out and see if how it's gonna go. Because it's really hard to test stuff on the PTS. There's usually not a lot of people. The summoner build, it will be fine, yeah, don't worry. That should do fine. Nothing really will change there. Let's move on. Meteor, they removed the cap, nice. Other than that, nothing really. They reduced the damage a little bit, sure. Suchik, no change really. Blood Altar, how ya doing? Okay. I think there was, yeah, the orb change, obviously. So they changed how orbs work, right? So you can only have one orb active at a time. And again, like orbs and springs were one of the main healing components, I guess. And this obviously, you have just so much less healing next patch in the raids because you can't spam orbs and springs anymore. At least now. Blood Altar costs health now? Okay. But now one orb can be synergized multiple times, right? Hitman, nah. It was like a 26-40 minute run, but with 33 vitality, I think. Yeah, but I think they did that just to reduce the, like, stress on the server. Or because it overperformed in healing. Either one of these. Maybe both, I don't know. I personally don't like it because, again, it's a combat MMO, like a action combat MMO, so it just feels restrictive if you have these weird things. Spawn Broadlings. Reduce the initial hit of this ability and the other version of the morph by 21. Increase the damage of poison applied by Spider by 66% to offset some of the damage loss. Okay. Trapping. Reduce the cost. This ability now deals an initial hit of damage when they land at their target location, right, resulting in approximately 75% damage increase. Ooh, okay. So you could actually also use this as a dot now, and then use the synergy. Right? Pretty nice. Well, Anthony, I think that's the reasoning behind the change. Performance will always be shit. That's just how it is. Noteworthy, you have to see how the rotations will line up. Maybe Endless, maybe the other one, I'm not sure yet. It's cheese. You just need to have the same number. You can basically choose where, more or less. I got lost a little bit. So there is only one orb that can be active, but several people can activate the synergy. Yeah, I know there is a fuck ton of work to do. On the other hand, you already have kind of an idea where it goes to, right? It's more like dot based, so the rotations might not be that hard to figure out. We will see. So let's see. Call drops. Reduce the cost, increase the snare, reduce the damage by 60. Rip. Duration reduction. Decrease the base duration to 12. 15, okay. Oh, this applies fracture instead of initial hit damage. Yeah, a few people told me Cult Drops is dog shit now. Way too expensive for what it does, so yeah. I actually hope they would increase the damage. Like, maybe make it 30, 25% damage reduction, but 60% is just too much. I mean, this is gonna be good in PvP because it applies fracture. On the other hand, it's only for 4 seconds. But if you have a dude that spams that shit, then yes. Magic Death. Reduce the cast time of this ability and the inevitable detonation morph to 1 second. Okay. Increase the damage by 7%. Reduce the cost. Remove the max limit. Oh, baby. So it looks like they really want to go away from AoE caps, which is a good thing. It's a fucking dumb thing to begin with. Just so yeah, bombing is gonna be back. Yeah, you're gonna replace call drops with soul probably. That's true. 4 seconds per tick. Yeah, okay, true. So yeah, proc stat is gonna be strong. Damn, if it doesn't have a limit anymore, it's gonna be... Galaxy, you need to be ESO Plus member to get it. Rapid maneuver, reduce the cost. Well, 8 seconds? Why? Ah, so you still have 30 seconds on the mount. Speed buff, but only 8 seconds on the ground. Okay, that's actually not too bad. I was just saying, man, when I need to ride to farm all that shit, dude. I mean, you can still use it, but you will need a lot of fucking regen or different people that spam it. But at least Major Gallop on the mount, it's still 30 seconds. This will no longer ranks up in duration. Yeah, this... Sure. Adhere this ability to our single target heal over time. Vigor and the resolving Vigor now only heal the caster. Increase the duration to 10 seconds, but decrease the tick frequency to 2 seconds from 1. Okay. Increase the healing per tick by 85. Reduce the cost. Damn. Resolving Vigor. This morph doubles the frequency but halves the duration. Holy shit. So that's a lot of healing. It's already strong. Oh boy. That's a lot. Echoing Vigor is more frequency the AoE healing capability, healing up to 6 allies. Okay. So PV you're gonna use Echoing Vigor and in PvP the resolving. That sounds really strong though. Yeah, Maelstrom and stuff. Yeah, definitely, because it heals more. That's a lot of extra healing, to be honest. That's like... what the hell? Warhorn. Instead, it will grant 15% worth of critical resistance to targets affected to operate as a counter to aggressive Warhorn. Okay. Yeah, in group PvP you also want Echo. That's true, that's true. That's interesting. That holds for the full duration? Okay. Barrier 12 people. Not bad. Guard got reduced a little bit, whatever. Purge. Nothing really changed, huh? Wait. This morph no longer heals for 15% of target's max health if a negative effect was removed from them, but instead heals for 10% of their max health per negative effect. Okay. Flare. Who the fuck uses this? I don't know. This will be another damage enemy, but now stuns revealed enemies for 2 seconds. Okay, that's interesting. You can no longer generate ultimate while in transformation as a bone Goliath werewolf while you're an emperor. Okay. They nerfed Bloody Mara again. I think it's weaker than blue food again, so we might change to the other food again. That's what I also don't understand. It's like they just made their audit on the buff food last patch. And now they touch it again. Why? Glyph of Bashing. These enchantments now grant weapon and spell damage to your bash instead of only weapon damage. Also increase the potency of the enchants by 21. Yeah. I mean, you're still gonna use stamina to bash, so I mean, nice, but whatever. Yeah, there is like 2 free new foods. Maybe somebody can link them. In your side, a mercenary and a veteran, the health on the last boss is okay. I will, let me write it up. So I don't forget it. Thank you for letting me know. Now, Affliction. Fix. This set will now place an appropriate buff. Okay. Reduce the amount of magic restored if you fail to reflect. Why did they nerf Eben? I just wonder what calculations they make to like get to these numbers. Eternal Hunt. Fix. Okay, Major Berserk. 5 seconds. Okay, that's nice. The... I don't even know what set that is. Increase the bleed resilient. Yeah, that's nice. I like that set, but it's not really good, but it actually looks pretty cool. Plague Doctor, health reductions. RIP. Roar of Alcast. The re-effect will now properly update when fighting dragoons. Okay, interesting. One, 2, 3. So increase max magic up and max health and get health recovery. How good is that compared to blue or the gold food? That's a lot of health recovery. Wait. Oh, this is max health and max stam and health recovery. That's a lot of health recovery. If you combine this with Rolking and shit, way bigger. Yeah, and then you have this one. Increase max stam and max health. If you're a werewolf, the rich marrow will also slightly ease your transformation. I'm not sure what the fuck they mean by this. Yeah, werewolf is rip. Increase the damage bonus is said to be nearly double the original value. Oh, so they buffed this because volley got nerfed. Okay, nice. No longer oblivion damage, sure. Oh, rip. This item set can proc no longer hit same monster multiple times. Used to be possible with monsters on big hitboxes. Maybe it either reduces the cost or it's just some roleplay text, I'm not fucking sure. Alliance War. Man, they need to fucking separate group versus solo queues. It's the most annoying thing in Battlegrounds, actually. It's amazing how they have not changed or not even bothered to change a comment on that shit. Volendrong. Okay, sure. Yeah, and there's a few other things, but that's mostly about it, Yeah, overall, I mean, again, most of the patch notes are actually not bad. Most classes get hit equally, but obviously there is a few questionable choices, like the orb springs, the bleeds. We have a lot of non-class dots now, so it's like the builds will more transform into, okay, you play less your class, but more of everything else. So the builds or the classes will feel more similar to each other than before. The ultimate delays, yeah, they added a few ultimate delays. I think they did that so you actually have you have time to react to it, right? But yeah, I also don't like fucking cast times and shit. And yeah, there's just a few weird changes in general, but whatever. I mean, just don't go to the ESO forum, okay? People are fucking crazy there. They completely... like, most of the shit is not as bad as it seems. Okay? The builds will change entirely. So PvE-wise, sets will most likely stay the same, but rotation and skills will change. Whereas with PvP, I think the builds will change a lot. What do you mean you can fake it now, JB? Well, yeah, I know, Justice, but it's really hard to find 10% good feedback buried in 90% idiots text or whatever the fuck you wanna call it. So we will see how this turns out. Probably not everything is gonna make it to the live server, right? But like the Templar bubble, that really, I think they need to change. I saw a video and... yeah, I know people lose it, that's just the MMO, but obviously now they have a new combat team, so they're kinda trying to set through their own vision of the game, or own vision of combat. So it's just, okay, we had Rubble before, always changes, now new guys, they change everything again. And as a new player, as a dude that plays maybe 2-3 hours a week, or just like 1 hour a day, it's really confusing. You come back into the game and everything changed and you're like, what the fuck just happened? But you can go to alcasthq.com and should be safe most of the times. There is a sound of the ultimate, but it doesn't go off if your animation cancels before the delay goes off. The sound and visuals? Oh, really? I doubt that's intended, though. Is that maybe because it's PTS lag? How trials are going to play out? Well, I mean... in trials, you're probably gonna see... Sure, you can't stack springs and orbs anymore, but... you probably will see more Vigor, echoing Vigor. The circle of protection. I'm not sure how big the radius is. But if that's something, you know, stuff like that. So there is other ways to go around. Templar, clap heal, yeah, stuff like that. There is ways. Just have to adapt, right? And obviously it's always annoying when things change now, but yeah, what do you want to do? Do you host your site on your own